Hi, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. Well, the O-levels results are finally out today. So I've just received some exciting news and a little bit of disappointing news from my students. So this video is about O-level results for my students only. So if you're looking for the O-level results for the entire cohort, right, this is not the place, right? These news are published by the Straits Times. Okay, so you need to go somewhere else. Okay, but if you are keen to learn how some of my students have done for last year's O-levels, then please stay tuned and I will share their stories as to how they managed to achieve the results that they have gotten or they've just received for today. All right, so let's get started and give you an overview very quickly. So this year I got back the results from 4 students, and we get 4 grade 3 and 1 grade 7. Okay, so grade 7 is the tiny disappointment that I mentioned earlier. No A's for this year, and I believe the A's has always been very elusive for many of my students, but I think you need to understand more about the background story of each individual student so that you get more context, and then you will see for yourself whether the grade that they have scored is fair or not. All right, so RX target a 3, usual progress 3 to 4, achieve a 3. So these students, well, going to the backstory later on. So let's just quickly run through the results for all these students. Zack W, target 3, usual progress 5 to 6, and achieve a 3. Right, RM, target 3, usual progress, getting a 5 to 6, and achieve a 3. Okay, so I think for all these students are good results. There's one more, KL, target a 3, usual progress 5 to 6 again, and achieve a 3. Right, and finally we have YY, target 6, and usual progress is 6 to 7, right, and achieve a 7. Let me just start with the grade 7 first, right, because that seems to be the only bit of a disappointment here. The backstory for this particular student, and she has been with me for a couple of years. So Zack 4, she came to me to do her N-levels, and for N-levels, for those who remember and follow the videos, you can actually go back to watch some of my previous videos. She did well, right, and because her background is that she's a Malaysian family, right, so she doesn't get many opportunities to speak at home, right, but that shouldn't be an excuse. Still, she managed to do well last year for N-levels and improved from like a 6, right, and she's struggling to pass in the very beginning. She can't even write, right, and to get a B4, right, and this year she felt more confident. She's kind of put into this undesirable position to have to retake the O-levels, right, because the course that she wanted isn't being offered by DPP, right, and actually for N-levels B4 can actually choose to apply for DPP and then from that route go to Polytechnic, right, but the downside is that DPP you have to spend an additional 1 more year and you don't have so many types of courses available. So in the case of YY, she found that the DPP, the courses don't really suit her, and she just went for her O-levels. So her target is just to get a pass so that she can get into a course that she wanted, and she had already shortlisted some course and all she needed was a pass, right? But it was very unfortunate that she achieved a 7. So I'm not sure what really happened there. I think during her school progress, her school prelims and stuff, she just managed to get a 6, right? So she's just hovering around the 6 or 7, and a 5 would have been a bonus, right? And I was really hopeful that she was able to get a 6, and there was no sign that she would miss her target, because by the end of the year I could see that her language was really improving. She was showing a lot more confidence in her writing. Okay, but I think unfortunately she's quite weak in the oral aspect, so that may have cost her a little bit in the O-levels English exam. So I don't know what really happened during the O-levels, so I chat with her and I encourage her to stay positive and look forward, right? Because O-levels is just a milestone in a student's long educational journey. So for those students who did not achieve the results, the desired results that you're after, well, take some time to mop over the result if you want, right? But don't dwell on the result for too long, right? In the bigger scheme of things, the O-levels would not have mattered, right? Say 5-10 years down the road, you will not even look at the O-level results, right? But in the short term, yes, it's a little bit painful. Okay, take it as a lesson, right? Pick yourself up, stay positive, right? And look forward to a better year in year 2023. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to the other stories for the other students, and we start with RX. Right, RX, the backstory for this student is that this student is one of the most consistent and hardworking students that I've taught, right? Hardworking, consistent means he's very cooperative, very obedient, always completes his homework, right? And she has been with me for 4 years, right? And over the 4 years, lower sec, he did well, right? Scoring a B, closer to A, right? Scoring a grade 3, right? But sec 3 got a little bit of a scare, dropped down to a C, right? But I think that serves as some kind of warning for him. So for sec 4, he was a lot more vigilant when it comes to approaching the paper, and we expected a 3 out of him. Okay, so he delivered, right? And his school exams, typical grades for sec 4 is 3 to 4. Okay, and he managed to achieve a 3, right? And if he managed to achieve a grade 1 and 2, that would have been a bonus, right? But in the end, he managed to hit his own expectations. Okay, so not bad, all right? Okay, for this performance. Okay, next student, Zack W. Well, Zack W came to me. Her English wasn't that bad, all right, but she needed a bit more guidance, right? And she was getting C's for her English, and C's is not acceptable for her O-levels, right? So she's pretty driven, okay, and she knows what she wants, right? And she set herself a target, hopefully to get a 3, okay, and her usual progress in school is mostly 5 and 6, So, but after 1 year with me, by the end of the year, the improvements has been rather significant, all right? And her confidence, is really strengthened, okay? And she and just like the previous student, her target is 3, and I was thinking to myself, if she get 1 and 2, that would have been a real good bonus, right? But in the end, she managed to score 3. So from 5, 6, to move up to a 3, that is quite a great achievement. Okay, and you can tell from the chat, right? She actually mistook me for her physics tutor, right? I think she was overexcited. So there's a lot of excitement flying around. So I understand. Okay, so you're forgiven, Zack W. Okay, for forgetting about me. All right, move on to the next student. Okay, RM, target 3, usual progress 5 to 6. Well, this student, she's one of my most chatty student, right? Put it that way. She's very chatty. She likes to talk a lot, right? So I have no problems that she will do well in her oral, right? I think she will most likely get A for her oral, right? But when it comes to her writing, she's a bit inconsistent there, right? So very, very difficult to get her to submit homework, written work on a regular basis. Okay, but sometimes you have strengths, your speaking and your writing, it balances out, right? So your strength stronger in one area, but slightly weaker in the other 2 areas, paper 1 and 2, and it balances out. So I think if she's strong in her writing, she strengthened her writing, and she might have very well have been able to get an A, right? But she doesn't like writing. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so her usual progress, most of the time from sec 1 to sec 4, from the feedback that I get from her, she told me she didn't get B before. Okay, so by the end of the year, okay, I think we strengthen her English, her language, right? We give her a lot of encouragement. And one thing to note about this student is that she has got very strong supportive parents, okay, in the background, right? Both parents, right, father and mother, were involved in her studies, right? They would communicate with me, right? The mother would help her out by using my worksheets and then asking her questions, posing her questions, and then look at my responses, those that were in the worksheets, and then try to get her to practice. So I think in this kind of supportive environment is the best type of environment where we see the most progress, right? Getting from a 5 to 6 up to a 3 is no easy feat in the national exam. You only have to perform once, all right, in the O levels. Do it right once and get a good score. Okay, and that's what happened for this student. I think we have a rather similar story for this student KL, right? KL, this is an interesting case, right? I put down target 3, but I'm not sure if his personal target is 3. Okay, because his backstory is that he has been with me for 1 year plus slightly. He was with me for Sec 4, right? So he took N levels with me, and he wanted to get a B3 so that he can qualify for PFP. But in the end, his N levels got B4, which was unfortunate because his prelims in Sec 4 he actually got an A2, right? So just goes to show, right? He missed this just one obstacle, okay, in Sec 4, all right. But I don't believe that the work and the effort that he has put in that year, right, in his Sec 4, okay, has gone to waste, right? Just because he got a B4 for N levels doesn't mean he's not capable of scoring something better. So he didn't want to go DBP, and he's quite determined that he wants to sit for his O levels. But this guy, he is very motivated, and he's also very hardworking, right? And his maths and science are very, very strong. So he's very sure that he wants to go into some engineering course, civil engineering, if I remember correctly. And he doesn't actually need a good grade for English in order to get in, right? As long as he passes his O levels. And I don't foresee him having a problem to pass his O levels, right? So he started tutoring with me this year for the first couple of months or so, I believe, right? And decided to drop out so that he can focus on self-study, self-directed learning, right? And I say, if you've decided that he can work and he wants to put his head down and is motivated to learn, and that's the style that he decided to learn, then by all means go ahead, right? You don't need to come to me to do the learning, right? So he can he's independent enough to support himself in this way. So even you can see from the message, right? Even though he only managed to get a C5 in his prelims, he actually managed to improve to B3. Okay, mostly based on his own efforts, right? So I want to bring up this story to show those N-level students especially going on to O-levels that is very doable, and he scored very well for all his other subjects, right? So all in all, 7 points for L1 R4. So L1 R4 7 points, he can pretty much get into almost any course he wants. He's not into any of those business courses, I believe. So engineering courses, most likely he'll get what he wants. So I hope this sound like, you can tell from the text message, it's like, you see all the ha in caps. You know that he's actually very excited about his own results. But he deserves it, right? I felt, if he must have worked hard for it, right? And he managed to get the results that he wants. Okay, so I hope these stories itself serve as some kind of inspiration. But I think inspiration is a word that's too strong. Encouragement, I believe, would be a better word, right? To those students who are going on to take O levels this year, right? Especially those N level students who lack confidence, right? The O levels are certainly very doable, right? Don't be afraid of it. Work hard, and at the end of the year, you may be surprised, right? That you get a result that is better than expected. Okay, so with that, I've come to the end of the video. So for those of you who are taking important exams and you want to sign up for lessons, please visit englishttution.org. All the fees, timetable, everything is on the website. And then thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. And by the way, Happy New Year. Bye.